The Muslim Apologist, thank you for your super chat. Why were the Shepherd of Hermas and the Epistle of Barnabas excluded from the current canon of the New Testament?
For some of those reasons we talked about, dating and authorship. Um, Barnabas was considered spurious, as was the Shepherd of Hermas, and its origins were doubted and unknown. Although a lot of the times when you get these canon lists and commentators, they give you more categories than I just give them credit for. Perhaps something like Eusebius does, but slightly different. They give you a recommended reading list, as it were. So texts that they're not quite canon, but they're pretty good. And so the Shepherd of Hermas and Barnabas often appears in those categories. But as you saw, the Shepherd of Hermas and the Epistle of Barnabas both appear in some canon lists, which I think is absolutely fascinating. And particularly in the case of the Epistle of Barnabas, I really like the Epistle of Barnabas. I think it's a great book. You can also see to some extent why the Shepherd of Hermas doesn't get included. When you look at its content, uh, which I suppose you could say the same about Revelation, it's quite out there. It's not basic. You know, when I say basic, it requires a bit more explaining, let's say. For those of you that read it, you'll know what I mean. Whereas, you take the Pauline letters, they're all quite basic, right? They answer a question, they provide a theological point of view. Same with the Gospels. Revelation is the exclusion to this, and you often find that a lot of the argumentation over canon does center around Revelation because it is so bonkers. So they're two of the reasons anyway: dating and authorship, and then also slightly in the case of Hamas, more content as well as being too ethereal.